Il va y avoir un thème autour de la vulnérabilité aujourd'hui. Parce qu'au-delà du fait que ce que j'ai à te partager me met vraiment en vulnérabilité, j'aimerais t'avouer que malgré le fait que j'ai déjà publié 500 vidéos peut-être, je me suis retrouvé là, à ce moment précis, à vouloir la refaire une vingtaine de fois pour qu'elle soit presque parfaite. Euh, il y a quelques semaines, j'ai parlé d'un tout nouveau programme de développement personnel que j'ai nommé Atlas. Un programme unique qui n'existe pas, qui s'articule autour de deux Spartan Race, un programme de musculation mentale, on va dire, avec des épreuves physiques, avec des développements de compétences assez fortes. Et, euh, et en ce sens, je te partage aujourd'hui une conversation que j'ai enregistrée avec mon coach et mon mentor, Tripp Lanier. Euh, Là où c'est très vulnérable pour moi, c'est que c'est une conversation en anglais et c'est la première fois que je partage quelque chose en anglais, dans un anglais qui est très confus. Et bref, voilà, c'est une première pour moi. On parle dans cet échange. Je te le partage parce qu'au bout d'un moment, je me rends compte à quel point il peut te rendre service et il peut apporter beaucoup de valeur. On a un échange avec Trip autour du fait que quand on fait du développement personnel, on a un peu ce fantasme de la ligne d'arrivée, de la destination, quand j'aurai suffisamment à bosser, pardon, quand j'aurai suffisamment avancé ou quand j'aurai suffisamment bossé sur moi, j'atteindrai une ligne d'arrivée et tout sera parfait, ma vie sera parfaite. Je ne ressentirai plus aucune sensation ou émotion pas très sympa. Euh, Ce qui est un leurre absolu et dans l'échange que je te partage avec Trip, on revient sur ces trois mondes, ces trois univers que je partageais récemment. Euh, je parlais d'un premier monde qui est l'échappatoire perpétuel, un univers dans lequel, lorsqu'on est bloqué là-dedans, tout est très restreint parce qu'on n'a pas de vraie responsabilité. Ensuite, je te parlais de la zone de métamorphose, qui est la zone, je l'espère, dans laquelle on se situe, dans laquelle on se challenge, on travaille, on progresse, on développe des compétences qui sont fortes, on prend cette responsabilité-là pour faire bouger les lignes pour le futur, et qui nous permet, entre guillemets, d'atteindre un troisième univers, qui est l'univers de la prospérité, qui est un univers dans lequel, alors, c'est pas une destination, on l'atteint pas une bonne fois pour toutes, mais dans lequel, quand on a un niveau de responsabilité et de compétences très fort, une expérience très forte, on, on est très en confiance sur le fait que on peut facilement retourner une situation challengeante, on peut facilement apprendre et avancer. Et ma théorie est que dans cet univers-là, la vie est beaucoup plus riche, beaucoup plus large. Je te partage cette interview. Tu peux mettre les sous-titres directement sur YouTube. Tu actives les sous-titres, tu peux activer la traduction pour les avoir en français. Euh, un échange à la base très intime qu'on a enregistré tous les deux. J'espère que tu pourras en tirer beaucoup de valeur. Je serais très curieux de te lire en commentaire sur les idées principales qui te marqueront de cet échange. Et voilà, je me félicite de sauter le pas et de le partager. J'espère qu'il va te plaire. Euh, entre l'anglais qui n'est pas parfait, entre le micro que je n'avais pas et la connexion qui était pas terrible. Voilà, ça représente un sacré challenge pour moi et j'ai envie de te montrer que bah voilà, on peut aussi être vulnérable et que ça peut nous permettre d'apporter beaucoup de valeur. Je te souhaite pardon, un excellent moment et je te dis à très bientôt. J'espère te voir dans Atlas si jamais toutes ces idées te parlent. Je te retrouve très bientôt.
Well, I love this these three universes you call them, and we talked about this a while back in some of our calls, but I love how you've shaped it and brought it into your own language. And I thought it would be fun to hear more about your process and your relationship to these three universes, because I think as people that coach and lead this work, we can often give the impression that we're the ones that have it all together. We don't have any of these challenges anymore. We figured it all out. And I just know from my own perspective as a young person and moving into personal development that I really thought the people on the stage maybe had the key and they'd figured it out and they were done, or whatever done meant. They didn't have to suffer anymore. And I found myself just getting more and more frustrated that I would invest in products and invest in courses and invest in things and like, wait a second. I mean, I am improving, but I still have problems. What the fuck? This isn't supposed to happen. So is that relatable to you? Can you relate? Does your personal growth journey align with that expectation? Did you have a version of that?
Well, I had a version around, yeah, my role models are living a perfect life. And I want a bit of that.
And what was a perfect life? And if you saw them and you imagine they were living a perfect life, what was that? Describe the perfect life.
They feel very relaxed all the time and very happy. And yeah, they can fail, but they never have some like bad feelings or difficult moments. I remember even with you 3 years ago, I thought, wow, Tripp just arrived to this place where everything is amazing. His professional life looks amazing, and
Perfect.
yeah,
All the time.
all the time.
Well,
No
for me, it was
challenges,
always
no
the,
obstacles.
yeah, for me, I think the part that you named in there was like, I wouldn't have to feel, you didn't say doubt, but there was like, if I had a failure, I wouldn't feel bad or I wouldn't have these feelings. And I think that was the part of it. It was like, yeah, stuff can happen. I may fail or something may not go as planned, but I just somehow brush it off. I'm not impacted by these things, these events. And I think
Mm.
that was a big part of it for me. It was like, I'm going to learn personal growth and personal development so that I'm never impacted by these things. I never have to feel the bad stuff. I only get to feel the good stuff. So is that similar?
Yeah, yeah. And when I hear you say that, I think it relates even more when I started to study Stoicism. When there is this, I mean, by the time it looked to me that there was this promise of um, equanimity and you don't get bothered by the negative emotional
Right.
uh, part. And well, yeah, I believed that it was some kind of a destination.
Okay. All right. Got it. So that could put us in this place of having this. This gives me something to now pursue. But let's talk about this first universe that we're talking, and you call it the never-ending escape. So, what did the never-ending escape look like? And describe that, but describe it in your world too. When you get sucked into that place, or you lived in that place, can you give us a snapshot of that?
Yeah. Um, if only a miracle could happen.
That's the plan. Just a
Yeah,
miracle.
that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Um, this is where I feel um, the weight of responsibility, and this is too heavy. So yeah, it's too heavy. I better uh, be in denial. I better just uh, hide
Mhm.
from it. And yeah, sometimes that still happens.
Mm.
Like I have something very new in front of me, and that seems to be a big challenge. And well, I have experience now to just like to not stay in that universe, but there is still this thought of, wow, I'm not sure I'm ready for it, or I maybe worse, like I hope that this is not true and I won't have to take responsibility, or yeah, because it
Mm.
seems too heavy. Um, and at some moments it can be just complaining and yeah, hiding. I think for me that's a big one, just hiding.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, not for me.
I think it's normal for us to want to hide, and I think it's normal for us to want to avoid. But at some point, I call it the fuck it moment, where it's just like my hiding and my complaining and my avoiding isn't working anymore. Fuck it. I've gotta actually do something about this. And those
Yeah,
are
it's
really
the
powerful
worst.
moments. And
Yeah,
we can't wait for us to win the lottery or the miracle to happen. We start to realize it's up to me to do something about this in my relationship or my finances or my fitness or whatever. Nothing's coming to save me. Fuck it. I got to do something about this. And do you have you had moments like that for yourself, or did you? I want to understand how you kind of switch from that place into that next zone. Can you think of moments where you did that for yourself?
yeah. In that place, my life feels very narrow,
Mhm.
and yeah, I feel very stuck and and anxious also because yeah, powerlessness leads to a lot of anxiety, at least for me. And so yes, this is where it gets very interesting, this fuck it moments, because all of a sudden there are ways. Not sure how to do anything, but there is yeah, some new like doors opening, some new possibilities. And and this is also where I can start to be very curious. And yes, it's always that kind of shift. I feel very anxious. There is like there is walls in front of me, and all of a sudden it's still very hard, but it becomes doors and I can start to be a bit more confident because I can start to feel that there is a different future in front of me, and there is some empowering uh, empowering stuff because all of a sudden I can decide that I can do something about it.
I've had moments in my life where I had to do that, whether it was in relationship or it was in my health or my work or my finances or something like that, where it was like, and I didn't realize it at the time how much I was waiting for the miracle. I was waiting for something to come along. It's like, if I just kind of wait a little longer, something's going to come along and fix this for me. I won't have to do the work. I won't have to take the risk. I won't have to risk, doing something stupid and looking bad or anything like that. But when you start to shift over, it does feel like a relief, even if nothing's necessarily changed. It's like
Yeah,
I'm doing something now. I'm
yeah,
actually gonna take responsibility here. I'm gonna figure this out. That can help us just feel peace in that moment. Has that been your experience?
yeah. And it's very funny how, well, I'll speak for me, but when I feel very stuck, um, it feels, as I said, the responsibilities feels too heavy and it feels so hard to do anything. And I find that the truth for me is more that when I just shift that kind of mindset and just own what I have to own, and it's not that heavy. It's not easier,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not that heavy. It's
not as bad as you
just,
thought it would be.
yeah, it can be very complicated and very hard, but it's just, yeah, it can feel very doable quickly.
Mhm.
And that's where the confidence can raise and yeah, also the peace, because this anxiety is, well, there is, I feel there is no more room for anxiety anymore, because there is ownership, and it's more of a solution oriented way of
Mhm.
thinking. And it's, I find that it's very hard to feel anxious when I'm solution oriented about things.
Mhm. Yeah, anxiety exists in that place of uncertainty and not feeling like you can do anything. But if I'm in it and I'm doing something, it's harder to feel anxious there because I'm in the
Yeah,
process. I'm figuring it out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and yeah. Well, I know I'm moving forward, and yeah, there is a lot of peace in that. It's funny because in that first universe, I I can have some thinking around, if I escape, I'll be at peace.
If you what? You'll
Because
be at peace? If you what?
if I escape, if I just
Escape.
run
Yeah.
away from these challenges, I'll be at peace because I won't have to face it.
Hmm.
There is this illusion of, if I face it, there's going to be a lot of stress.
Hmm.
But it's the opposite. There is distress because I don't do anything about it.
Right.
And once the mindset shifts and just I start doing anything, but I start moving forward, yeah, there some peace can emerge from that.
I think it's important to underline that if I'm in that first universe and my strategies are miracles and avoiding all the uncomfortable and bad, what feels uncomfortable, that's the stuff that's keeping me stuck and keeping me miserable, right? Looking for the escape. And then what actually brings me peace is giving up on the idea that a miracle is going to happen. It's up to me to to take responsibility. Now, it doesn't mean I can't be helped, like I bring help in, but I'm not waiting to be rescued or saved. I'm not looking for the perfect guru or the whatever system that's going to do the work for me. It's recognizing like, oh, the thing that I'm seeking, that peace of mind comes from when I take responsibility. I'm willing to feel some of the things that I don't necessarily want to feel, and I'm willing to do the work that I wasn't willing to do before. I'm willing to face the things that I wasn't willing to face. And then, oh wow, look, I'm feeling this peace of mind, even if I haven't completely solved X problem yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And what's interesting is that they are always new challenges. And well, in my opinion, always new challenges and always new problems in life. So this is always a process.
Hmm.
And I think the skill is to just get better at turning things around and and shift the mindset as soon as possible. And yes, feeling anxious and stressed is the cue for me that I'm stuck in a mindset that I don't like to live in.
So we're getting a sense of that first universe. We're getting a sense of the second universe where we're taking responsibility. We're willing to do the work. We're willing to turn into the challenge. So what is the third universe that you describe?
Well, actually, the third one to me is the one we also talked about. It's the one where we um, we know that we can be responsible and we can commit and we can uh, do the work. The the third one would be someone in the middle where,
The
yeah,
second
I
one, you
can,
mean?
yeah, yeah, the second one. I can work I can take responsibility, but this is very hard. And this is where, to me, this is where we learn a lot, and we challenge ourselves, and we fail and take risks. And this is not, well, this is a very empowering one because we're moving forward, but this is also very challenging.
What is it about what makes it hard in the second stage? Because you know, we want to avoid this I'm done and I'm fixed and I don't have these problems anymore, right? This kind of promised land, exonerate, you know, Phil Stutz calls it exoneration, right? This VIP area. But there's something, it sounds like the second universe is where it maybe it's, and correct me here, it's not consistent, or I keep, maybe
Yeah,
I do it, but then I let off. I'm able to take
yeah,
responsibility and then I kind of fall back asleep again. And oh gosh, I got to get back on it again. And how would you describe it?
yeah, lack of consistency. And I think there is a bit of, I will do it, but as you said, I'll be exonerated from it in the future.
Oh, there's still a belief in there.
Yeah, maybe there is still this belief. And
Uh-huh.
this is why I call it the metamorphosis zone in English.
Metamorphosis.
It's
Yeah.
because, yeah, it's still it's still in the process of, well, we are still creating this process.
Mhm.
And I would say we don't master it yet.
And does mastery mean, oh, I don't have to feel these things anymore and I don't have to be challenged and I don't have to do the effort, make the effort and do the work and all that kind of stuff?
Of course. um, yeah, mastery means that, um, I, in my opinion, I have the skills to quickly take ownership, to commit, to have the discipline to do the work, and um, also I think very important. I live in an environment that is pushing me forward in a good way, that is lifting me. Um, yeah, there is always challenges. There are always challenges, and always some very bad situation that we can face, and we're not ready for it. And actually, I don't think I've mastered it yet. It's and I don't know if that's even possible, but I think there is this, every challenge we get better and we get more skilled. And so we have more tools and more people around us to always, that's I think the goal, but always take full ownership of everything. Um, and live in that place more consistently.
Got it. So that third level is, it sounds like there's just more of a self-trust there. Like I've been through enough of these scenarios of
Mm.
being challenged that I just don't get spun out. I don't for long. Like I'm still not like hanging out like, oh, this shouldn't happen. I shouldn't have to deal with this, or maybe there's something else that'll come along and save the day. It's just more of that ingrained natural, okay, here's the challenge. We turn into it and we deal with it. We take ownership of it. And I like what you said, that it's something to aspire to, and maybe there isn't a full mastery. I think we're always going to find those levels where we're challenged and we might face our doubts and that type of thing. But I like that you put it out there as something to move towards and something to aspire to.
Yeah, yeah, it's more of a direction. And well, what I mean by that is we don't, in my opinion, we don't live there permanently. Like this is not a place we arrived and we're good.
You're the stoic
Um,
master and you don't, nothing ruffles your feathers anymore.
Yeah, and actually, I thought people were able to live in that place. Um, it's funny because I realized, and this is my own experience, but I realized that um, the more and more I improve in any areas in my life, uh, the biggest the challenge are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like during a Spartan race, and you're able to do the first obstacle, and the second one will be, and so you'll get a bit stronger, and the second one will be harder, and the third one will be harder, and so it feels that the confidence gets higher and higher every challenges, but this is always difficult. This is always There is always the thing of, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And also some obstacles. This is the first time. So, and that was maybe a big insight that I had the last few years, that most of the obstacle or challenges I'm facing are new ones. So I don't have the map,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel more and more confident that I'll be able to face it and move towards it. And yeah, that's to me a big indicator that
Mm-hmm.
I have everything in my power today to face anything, whether it's um, some skills that I have, some mindset that I can shift, some people that I have around me, some friends I can talk to about some very specific challenges, um, some coach I can work with, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
which creates this also this piece of, and I want to make sure that this is not some form of denial, but this feeling of, I know that I'm gonna work it out anyway, and I know that I'm gonna be okay, and I know that I'm gonna improve in that process, and I also know that later on I'm gonna face some other challenges that I have no idea about,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm gonna, yeah, be in the same place of, well, what do I do now? Um, and at some moments, I'll get stuck in the first universe,
Mm-hmm.
and it will feel too big, too heavy for me, and yeah, the the skill is to, as quickly as possible, to turn it around and be proactive in finding the peace and the peace in that responsibility, and the focus and the discipline, the leadership to move forward.
Mm. You described an environment that helps you stay on track and not get stuck in that first universe as you describe it. And I imagine that the program that you're talking about is helping people create that environment for themselves, because often when I meet somebody or I'm beginning work with them, there's this thing like, I shouldn't need help, or I shouldn't need these structures or things in my life. I should be able to just kind of do it all alone. And I'm like, wow, what a terrible limiting belief. Why wouldn't you put everything in your corner that you could to help yourself? It's like going out into the forest for weeks. Like, I shouldn't need anything. It's like, no, prepare. Put the wind at your back. Bring as much support as you can. Again, not to rescue you and not to do the work for you, or to take responsibility for you. But why wouldn't you have things in your corner to support you? That's what helps you have that confidence. Is like, I know I'm not going to be able to fall down or stay down for long, even if I do fall down. So tell me a little bit about what it is that you're bringing to this offering that you have that creates that environment for that support.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's such a shame to uh, stay away from these things that you can have in your life, and and this is exactly that. I know that if I fall a bit, my environment won't allow me to stay stuck. And so creating a group where there are very specific agreements, where we're all in the same boat and we're all facing challenges, our internal challenges, the one in our own lives, and they're all different, but also we have common challenges. And that's why I love to do some Spartan races, for example, because it trains us to, like, it shows what it means to do something in a group, to help the people, the person that is just in front of you and that is stuck because it needs to go over a wall and is not strong enough at the moment. And yes, there is also this big social commitment, and yeah, we're in this together, and I'm also in it with them. I'm going to be facing some new challenges in the next 4 months. I know that, and um, we don't have, like, everyone don't have necessarily in their lives someone that they can just talk to very quickly and they're gonna be fully present. They're gonna listen to him and they're gonna be able to help him, not save him, but just help him get back on track. And that's also why creating a group is very important to me, so that we can meet new person and some people that wants to do that kind of job, and we're all different in that group, but we all have the same goals in a way to develop these skills. And yeah, my hope is that in every group we can just meet one person or two person and we're going to spend some significant moments in our life in the future, because we're going to create a very specific connection and hopefully a strong one. But yes, I said a few years ago that a very positive environment is like an amazing weather when we are trekking. Everything's easier. And a very bad environment is like very bad weather. And it's very hard to just walk in the mountain because it's raining, we don't see anything, and it's also much more playful and fun when we're doing something in a group.
I love that. And I've gotten to know you over the last few years as we've been working together, and I know how important this environment is, but it's also the community aspect of things, that you really thrive on having that space and being able to work with others and help others in that way. And I love how you're positioning yourself in this, which is like, this is for me too. I want to be in an environment where I'm supported, and not just supporting others and not being the guy who has it all together. Nope, you get to be the one that's going to face whatever challenges you face over the next few months, and you get to go through this as well. And it's not about being perfect, and it's not about being the master, and that whoever this idealized role model is, as where we started out today. But you get to just be on the journey with everyone else and support and be supported along the way. And I think that that's really exciting. And I brought that up because it's not everybody's thing to want to be a part of a community, and maybe they're not familiar with it, or maybe they haven't had a very supportive community. They don't know what it's like to be in something like this. They don't know what it's like to do a Spartan race, or to be in an environment where people are really pulling for one another. And so I love that you're taking a stand for this, because it's so important to you, and you want to provide that for others, even if they've never had a version of it like this.
Yeah, I really feel that I need that deeply, and the goal is then to offer that context for people that may need it as well. Yeah, this is feeling connected is such an important thing in my life, and this is, yeah, this is very obvious for me to I would say take the risk, because it's not always easy or it's always unknown actually, but it's but and even with that group, I have no idea what's gonna happen. But yeah, it's very obvious to me that I can move forward creating this context, and someone did that for me in the past, and yeah, I love to connect people together, and and it's just, I'll say that again, but much more fun and playful, and creative also, to do things with different people uh, from different worlds, and yeah.
Beautiful, man. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else that we can touch on?
Um, I would add, I talked to a lot of the people that are already in that group, and they all felt, um, I won't say calling, but uh, yeah, just a call. Like, I think this is the moment for me to do that. And I'm tired of being stuck in those places, and I want to create something completely different in the future for me. I want to develop some very useful skills for my life, and I want to do that with some fun physical challenges and mental challenges. And they could sense that this group was all about everything they wanted. And yeah, I'll just add that if you feel that there is some call, and yes, this is the right moment for me, and they're all, it's funny, as this is always uh the direction. They are all a bit stressed, and a bit scared, and very excited. And it's very normal that if you want to join that group, you feel some fear. If there is also some excitement, to me, this is uh, a nice indicator
Yeah. I
that
love
this is
that
the
blend
moment.
of I love that blend of fear and excitement. Like, it's a little like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I keep looking at it. I keep
Mm,
thinking about it. That's always a good sign. It's like that deeper part of us is like, there, go, there's something over there, go check it out. And then the other part of it's like, no, let's just stay with where we're comfortable and we know things and not rock the boat. And there's that tension.
Yeah. And I'm so excited also to do the races because I've done them in the past and they're completely different. The first one is in the sea and the second one is the in the snow in the mountains.
Wow.
And starting with a race is will be great because it will be a nice indicator of this is where I am. And I mean physically, but this is always I would say metaphorically, or like this is always applicable in every areas. This is where I want to be in the second race
Mm.
because this obstacle I'm not able to get through it in the first one. I want to be able to do it in the second one, and I want that to be uh, the same in our lives. Early October, when we start the program, I'm not able to get through these specific challenges alone.
Hmm.
At the end, I'll have the tools and the mindsets and the self-leadership and the environment to get through it. And obviously through the next ones in the next years.
Beautiful, man. I love that you integrate those races. You get so fired up talking about them. And
I'm very fired up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, as we record this session, like the day we record this session, the Spartan race, the first one will be in exactly 1 month. So I have days in the calendar and I'm like a kid. This is so cool.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. I think one of the things that I want to appreciate about you is I've watched how you have shifted your relationship to what you do as your values and your life experience has changed. You've aligned your work more and more with who you are.
Mm,
And that's been really exciting because we can tend to get stuck. Well, this is how I do things. I may change internally and who I am may change, but this is how I do my work and it stays the same. And it's been really exciting to watch you experiment and shift and try new things. And that's not quite it. I'm going to try this other thing. And you're embodying this way of living, but you're also bringing it to the work that you do, which is where a lot of us aren't willing to try new things and explore with new ways of doing things. So I want to acknowledge you there because I think that that's really bold and it's inspiring for me as somebody in the same line of work. I look at you and how you're willing to try new things, and I say, you know what, I want to. Where can I do that? So I want to thank you.
welcome. Thank you for that. And um, yeah, what I'm actually very happy with um, uh, the like the boldness to try something new and to try again a group because it did not work. Like it was not the perfect one, the first one that I started last year, and some freaking big challenges. And but so many lessons in that, and I feel ready to um, yeah, take those lessons and try again. Uh, uh, and yeah, this is cool because I remember a few months ago I was thinking I'll take a few years off.
I remember that. Yeah, I'm done with that. I'm not doing groups anymore. Not doing
Yeah,
community stuff.
yeah, it was very fun, but it was very hard, and the willingness to try again is yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah.
And thank you for that because you challenged me to reconnect to what's very playful and it's so funny how Spartan races is always the first thing that comes to mind
Yeah.
about playfulness.